As early voting continues, we are a week away from primary election day in Arkansas, where political parties will choose who will represent them on the ballot in November. Voters will also have a chance to weigh in on nonpartisan races. So we asked a local elections expert to explain what's different about this year's primary. In the primary election, political parties choose who their candidates will be in the November general election. Arkansas has traditionally had an open primary system, meaning voters can simply pick which party's ballot they want. This year, Jennifer Price, Washington County Director of Elections, says everyone can still get the ballot they choose, but some will have to complete extra paperwork.
For an individual who is a registered Democrat who wants to request a Republican ballot, they do have to fill out a new voter registration form at the polls while they're voting to change their party affiliation to either blank or optional, or they can register as a Republican either way.
That's because the Republican Party has a closed primary this year, while the Democratic primary remains open to all voters.
For every voter that comes in, they're going to be asked a question of which ballot would you like?
There are three options: Democratic, Republican, or nonpartisan ballots.
This is where the biggest confusion comes, because most of our voters in Washington County are registered as optional. It shows up in our poll book as nonpartisan, though. That is not the ballot that voter is required to take.
She says the nonpartisan ballot only includes judicial, school, and certain local races. It does not include political candidates. She recommends knowing ahead of time what you want to vote for so you can choose the right ballot, and checking VoterView online.
It's going to show if they are registered to vote. It's going to show what their address is. It will show how they're registered to vote, which political party they're registered to vote with, and then all three ballot choices will be available for the voter to review.
Price also reminds voters that participating in the primary is important not just for selecting party candidates for November, but also for those key nonpartisan races.
Our Arkansas Supreme Court judges, it's also our prosecuting attorney, it's also all of our circuit court judges, appeals. They are elected through this nonpartisan judicial general election. You also have the school election on there as well for your school millages, which is where a large portion of your taxes go.
Price says it's also important to note there are 4 contested Republican races this year, which could mean a runoff on March 31st. To vote in that runoff, you'll need to either take a Republican or nonpartisan ballot in the primary. You can also read about all the races and find early voting sites where you live with our primary election guide on our website. You can also just text the word VOTE to the number you see on your screen, and we will send you a link to that guide on 5newsonline.com.